Hello everybody and welcome to a new video at PowerDrift. Behind us is a car that you've already of course seen pictures of or small snippets of on social media and on the internet. But it's time to bring you more detail and up-close version of that. A little walk around of what this behind us is. It is of course the Tata Curvv Coupe EV concept SUV thing. Two things very important in that phrase, EV and Coupe. Why? Because of course this is Tata's first all EV platform. It's the first scratch-built EV car that will make it to production as an EV first and then as a normal internal combustion petrol or diesel engine car later. And second, the one that I really like, Coupe, because unlike our friends in the United States or in Japan or in Europe or in the UK, we've never really had a mass market coupe, have we? That isn't just a concept. Oh, no. That on the outside is 97% production ready. Let's take a closer look, shall we? So let's talk about that coupe bit a little bit more first, okay? This obviously is a pretty looking car and we've seen Tata bring out some really nice looking designs in the past. Safari, the Harrier, the Punch, all really great looking cars, aren't they? As I mentioned, this is gonna be a production car soon, expected to be in the market before 2024. And yes, all of these bits you see are making it to production. That's the cool part, including this. Now this isn't just a design element, this actually is hollow. Air can go in from here and come out from here, so it's like a flying buttress, something that you would see on a Ferrari 599 GTB or maybe the new Ford GT, but obviously this is a little more, well, mass marketish. But it is cool, and so are the taillights, and so are the big wheels on this concept. Now obviously a set of 20s isn't going to make it to production, but I'm thinking a 17 or an 18-inch wheel on a car like this, maybe. Why? Well, this is sort of the same size generally as something like a Hyundai Creta is or a Kia Seltos is. So those come with 17 and 18-inch wheels, of course 16 on the smaller ones or the more basic versions, but 17 and 18 on the fully loaded variant. So I think Tata will give that bigger wheel option too. This obviously will not make it to production because this is a conceptualized thing. We'll have normal mirrors and the front end. In fact, you know what? Let's talk about the overall size a little bit more, because this in general, imagine putting an Urus in a sort of Xerox machine and reducing the size by say 30%. That's what this looks like. It's a cool looking thing. It's all angular, it's all sharp. In fact, Tata shouldn't have called it the Curvv. Tata should have called it the Edge, the Sharp, the Razor, something like that, because that's what this looks like. Okay, front end design bits. All of this is really striking and cool. Just like the rear end, you have this sort of LED light bar that goes all the way from the top, integrated into the bonnet, all the way across the car on the other side. But these bits, I think that's where the headlights will be, just as you see on the Punch as well. Those little small LED daytime running lights on the tops, and then the headlight, the actual headlight cluster on the bottom in the bumper. But overall, this is a striking looking car, and that's important because Tata Motors has made it a bit of a habit of having striking looking concepts first, actually make it to production as striking looking production cars. We've seen it with the Altros, we've seen it with the Harrier, we've seen it with the Punch, and now the Curvv. Will it be still called the Curvv, or will Tata go through a bunch of names before they make it into actual production? Well, that remains to be seen. But let's talk about the interior now, and then let's talk about what you get underneath. Now, of course, we don't know the specs of this, but we can assume a couple of things from what they've told us so far. Now, that obviously isn't going to come into production. The doors open actually via a remote control or via an app. We'll get normal doors, obviously, when it does make it to production. I'm not guessing we're not going to have Tesla-like technology in something this mass market. That said, let's move to the interior and see this up close, because there are some bits here which are going to make it to production, and then there are some bits which aren't. Now, obviously, I don't think the 4-seater layout is going to make it to production. I don't think the really cool, almost microfiber-ish seat pattern is going to make it a production either, or that awesome pattern on the dashboard, which seems like it's made out of some sort of recycled material. But what will make it to production, and I'm going to get the camera a little bit closer here, what will make it a production is that screen layout, that 2-screen layout with the instrument cluster and the infotainment screen, both freestanding units. That's really nice because it's sort of minimalistic. And you know what else is minimalistic? I have said in the past that this is an EV platform, right? That means a flat floor on the front end. No transmission tunnel to talk about. That gives you so much more space. It just looks so much nicer and more open. And that's a great thing because it just gives you a lot more open space, breathing space in the car as well. That brings us to the platform that this is based on. This isn't an alpha platform car, it's sort of an evolution, it's sort of a new platform, and as I mentioned, this is an all EV platform first. So flat floor in the front, flat floor in the back, batteries underneath here, more of a skateboard like design, you sit slightly higher up. Now we think it's going to be about a 50 kilowatt hour battery because they say the car will have a production range of about 400 to 500 kilometers. And it should be interesting to drive because with that sort of battery pack, it will be a quick car to drive as well. 4 seats in this one, not a lot of headroom in the back, but I'm guessing that will be better in the production version. But overall, tell me what you think of it. Tell me if this should sprout or this should sort of evolve into a more normal looking SUV as well to sit alongside this coupe styling. Overall, I think this looks absolutely smashing, doesn't it? A bit of a curveball, if you can call it that, from Tata Motors. We knew there was a coupe coming. We didn't know it would be this cool.